Welcome to the call. This is day 3 of our 3-day live video training. I hope you've enjoyed everything that you've seen so far. Give me a yes if you've had an aha moment that you can do with RSS Masher and AI Masher and all the other tools we've shown you. Yeah, we've got a lot of ahas coming in. Yep.
Yeah, your plan, absolutely, yes.
That's perfect. Okay, so this is day 3, and I'm going to switch over real quick. Switch screens. And hopefully everybody has their notes. I'm going to give you the link again if you don't have the Notion doc. Let's go to screens. I'm just going to do a portion of the screen here like we did yesterday. Okay. Cool. Everybody should see that. Let me share the, I'll share the Notion doc. Well, I'll just copy that. That's where we need to be anyway. So I will put it here in chat for everyone. Okay. So I'll do a quick review of all 3 days at the end, but we got a lot of stuff to cover. In fact, the first 3 have been Geek Out Fridays, where I've spent at least an hour and a half on each of these sections. So we're going to talk about local pages first, and then we're going to talk about sitemaps. This is one of our newest features, and maybe Wayne can help us more on that as we have questions. And then we'll do the Feedly GSheet method. And I know I've taught this at least half a dozen times, but we did actually have a Geek Out Friday session on it. But we're going to go over all this, and we'll talk a little bit about the YouTube and the automation workflow. I don't think we're going to have time for that or some of the other stuff. So what we'll do later is, it won't be this weekend. We're going to take a break this weekend, but it will be in the coming weeks. Is we'll do more on the custom integrations, and I'll just let you know, drop an email to everybody that, hey, we've updated the Notion doc, okay? And I'll put a link to the advanced training. We'll just put the video link in here. This is advanced stuff right here. And if you want to know more about it, maybe we'll have a Geek Out Friday, or we'll just do a special training on it, okay? So let's get started. Local pages. They are iframe embeds. That's what we're going to be building, is iframe embeds from the Mash itself. And I wanted to show you, we actually had 3 videos on how we did all this, okay? This was the introduction video. We did a complete training, and all this is inside of your VidPenguin Productions RSS Masher, okay? And then we did a Geek Out Friday specifically on this, doing bulk posting with local, and I think we even put ZimWriter in there, okay? So if you want to review everything on local pages, just come back and watch this one video right here. And this is the shorter version of it, but this is step-by-step training. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to talk about the best practices for it. In fact, let me show you what it is before we even get started, okay? So I'm over here on RSS Masher. Now, in fact, I'm going to do something here so you can see them in action. This is Manage Mashes, and we're going to be talking about, this is the one I was working on, is this one tab over here, Local. When you click on Local and you check that, you're going to open up this entire box right here, okay? So what this box is you give it a name, and you can put a description in here with it. And what I did a spin description. In fact, I went over to Grok and I said, give me a spin description with e-gaming resources. So it gave me a really good, nice little spin. That's why we don't even use these anymore. AI does a better job on spinning than I've seen anywhere else. Okay. You have to choose the niche and the category with it because we do some other things with it. We also give it tags, okay? We're using the niche and category when we build out the custom. We have custom domains that you can use. We got 4 of them. But you can put in your own custom domain if you wanted to, if you don't want to use any of these, okay? And so inside the custom domain, we have a category and then subcategory in there for it. But this is just to hold it, okay? Because we're going to do an iframe embed with it. And all this is going to make sense once you see it, okay? You've got 3 different formats: template, footer, a sidebar, or local items only, HTML grid. Okay, I'm going to choose that one. Number of external links. What the local page is designed to do is it's designed to put your links in a table with expert links, so that if you have your name and your blog post and you're right underneath the Sun-Times, the New York Times, TMZ, Wall Street Journal, it lends higher authority to you from the reader. And from testing that Daryl Osborne has done, it also lends authority with SEO when added to a GSheet, okay, or a G site. So we're going to take his word for it that the SEO part, but the authority of a visitor coming in is it's neural linguistic programming. Is if you show a whole bunch of authority sites and you stick your site in with the list of authority sites, it makes your site an authority site in the brain or the visual context of the reader themselves. So that's what this is designed to do. Okay. So I did one on e-gaming, esports gaming. I've got it on a trusted site, and I wanted to come down here and put some expert links in here. Okay. So how did I find these? Well, if you know expert links, you can just go in and just type them in yourself right in here, or you can do a CSV upload. But I did a little trick here. I went over here, I said, the prompt, I'm using Grok. You can use OpenAI or Perplexity would probably be a good one. Give me 20 e-gaming authority sites, blog, and our YouTube channels, put it in CSV format, just like this. Okay. So it did all its research, gave me all the stuff here, and then came down and gave me the expert authority sites in e-gaming. Really easy to do. I'm kind of lazy. I didn't want to just copy that one section. Give me just the CSV table. Didn't spell it right. Okay. And then I had to tell again, give me the table only, ready to download as CSV. So I copied it, put it in a notepad, and got rid of this part up here. And then the bottom part had some junk on it. Cleaned it up, and then I imported it in. Okay. Now, unfortunately, it gave me a couple of these commas in the description itself, and I just had to clean it up just slightly inside the notepad. Okay. But the end result is I have a table of, I've got 15. I think I took 5 of them out. I've got 15 expert sites, and I did this in a matter of about 3 minutes of work time. Again, this is 2 years ago, Wayne, when we built. Well, it was January of 2024, so it's a little over a year old. We used to have to do this by hand to put the expert sites in. Not anymore. We just use AI to do it. Okay. So I have expert sites, but how do I get our sites in there? Well, that's the beauty of RSS Masher. We mash things together. Come back over here to website feeds. Now, I don't have, just for time's sake, as I didn't put my own RSS feeds from my own gaming sites in there, but I just went up here and I said gaming. I just want to use some examples. So gaming, and then I came down here and just added about, got 5 of them in there and put them all in the box and then add the feed, okay? So I have my sites or my pretend sites, and I have expert sites. Okay. Now, how do we mash them all together to give us an output? We come over here to build, hit build, preview web, and there we go. There's the name. There's that description right here. And if I hit refresh, it should spin the description.
You can play it the other way around. You can have the authority sites as the RSS feeds, and your static links can go at the bottom.
Yeah, you can do it either way in here.
Or both.
Yep. So I said you can spin it here. That's not true. You have to come back over here and hit build again. And it just spins the description, but it also relocates the links. It moves them around. So if I look at these, you got a different description. It looks like, doesn't look like it. Yeah. It's, okay. So you got all the links in here. How does anyone be able, how can anyone be able to tell what's the difference between expert sites and our own sites? You can't. It's really impossible. Scott asked, did this include a visual thumbnail? Yes, it's just the formatting of these. So come back in here to local. If it can pick up the thumbnail, it will. But display images. Okay. I want to do all images on if I can. So if you have a real thumbnail in there, hit update. And then we're going to come back over here. Hit build.
You need to click the button at the bottom.
Oh, get data for all rows. Mine are all set it and forget it, so sometimes I forget.
We'll attempt to go out to each of those and get the information for you direct from the site.
Okay. This one doesn't have anything, so this is an expert site. I'm just going to delete it. This one doesn't have anything. It's got a title, Touch Arcade, Phone and iPad. Let's delete it. Okay, go to page 2. Okay, now we have thumbnails. Okay, so build. Preview web. Okay. Now this one didn't have a thumbnail with it. ARS Technica, and this is in recent months. And that one didn't, and this one didn't. So I would probably look to my own feeds on here. Animal use protocol. Okay, so that one's Gaming Bolt. Let's see. This other one was Gaming Bolt, ARS Technica. Okay, so I can come back over here and go, I'm going to go in here and go turn off Gaming Bolt and ARS Technica. Okay, remember how we did all this? So I'm just turning them permanently off, hit build again. And preview web. Okay, we've got one more outlier. This is Gaming Bolt. Oh, I turned that one off, but it could be another one. Oh, here it is, permanently off. Okay, these are just, and some of these are old feeds. So just imagine your own feeds being in here, okay? Or your expert feeds. This, like Wayne said, is you could put expert authority feeds in here along with your own feeds, okay? So let's hit build again. And preview web. Okay, cool. That one's still showing up. Gaming Bolt. Thought I turned that one off. Gaming bolt. Oh, it's probably sitting in here in this feed burner. Feed burner sometimes pulls in a whole bunch of them. So let's hit build again. I just like, maybe ADD about this, but I like all, if I'm going to have images, I want all my posts to have images. And for some reason that.
Yeah, the RSS feeds may not have them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll just pretend that is. So when you're done, you hit finish and activate. Okay. Now this is officially a local page. Okay. You can use this. Here's the link to it. But to pull the, I'm going to go in and hit, I didn't even need to hit edit, but I'm going to come back over here to build. Here's the iframe. Okay. Now I'm going to go over to a G site. I think I've got one on gaming. Competitive gaming. Yeah, just rolled right by that one. Okay. This is the home page. And I've got a whole bunch of pages built in here. And if anybody's interested to know how I did this, we did a Geek Out Friday almost a year ago with the GSheet factory guys. They've gotten a lot better with the software. And if y'all are interested, we'll do another one with it. But we're taking ZimWriter articles, putting them into GSheets. It's not automated, believe me, but you can create 100 pages if you wanted and put these local page at the bottom or at the bottom of the home page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put an iframe in here. So just come back here to insert. And there's my table of contents. I'm going to just put it right down here below. And it is text box, drive, embed. Okay, here is my embed code. Next. Okay. Put it right here, make it full width. It should republish it. Okay. Wayne, help me. I think my iframe needs to be adjusted here. I'm just going to look at the code here. Scrolling, frame border. Where would I put the 100%? Determined by the iframe code. And I need to put width in there. Wayne, you're on the call?
Yeah, just looking.
What's
it would need to go in front of the quotes after auto.
right here.
Next one along.
Left?
Yeah, that's it there.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm tap in width.
Equals. Surprised it needs anything other than what we've given it.
Just width, just put in here width. Used to, I know it was easier when we were just putting them in there.
100% normally you have to put after it.
100.
As it's in the style, it might need it to be a colon, but
yeah, I think you're right. Okay. And I think the height, doesn't the height has to be in here also?
You just have to put whatever height you want, because if you put 100%, it'll be probably
Yeah.
too big.
Height is
Pick some pixels, I don't know, 300 px.
px. Okay. Did I spell height right?
Yep.
There we go. Okay. Oops. I'll move it around. Let's hit publish. And publish. I know this used to be easier for some reason. Okay. There we go. You got it all in here. Okay. Now, when Google reads these iframes, they read the full iframe, everything in it. Even though the viewer has to do the slider, Google SEO is picking up everything inside of it. So we have all these expert links, and then we have our own link down below. Okay. This looks really good.
I mean, you can size it to be part of the page if you want and have it as big as you want.
Yeah.
Or you can just hide it and have it just as something that Google finds.
Yeah. But I mean, I like building them that people can actually use instead of just trying to trick Google with it. But yeah, it's pretty powerful. Okay. So that's local. And now some of the things that you can do with it is if I go in here, I'm putting all these are considered static URLs. Is number of external URLs, I could say, I just want 5. I can say, I only want them at the top, I only want them at the bottom, or I want to scatter. This is what this is random. So I hit update.
There's a good question from Jill. Why would you bother with that and not just put it in as HTML? Well, the reason for that is if you put it in as HTML, it's fixed forever, really. But because we've embedded it as the page, when the mash runs, however many times, depends on your subscription, it modifies that local page. So that page will change and not be the same every time the page is looked at by someone else or by Google, and it will change. So when the mash runs again, it'll get the later links, it'll embed your links in, it will mix them up, and they will show mixed. So that's why it's embedded, because that's what you need. You want the variation, and RSS Masher is going to deal with that for you without you having to worry about it. You could put that local page. You could have 20 of them on 50 websites, and they'll automatically change and get updated. So that's what you need.
And what I'm noticing is some of my feeds, this feed doesn't have content all the time. So I'm just adding some more feeds. And remember how we found feeds real quick? And the beauty about these feeds, you don't care if they have content on them, because all you're providing here, this can be a thin feed. We told you at the very beginning, there's some instances where you would want to use a thin feed. This is one of those instances, because all we need is a link, a title, and an image. All RSS feeds have that. So I'm just pulling in some of the top ones here. GameSpot, let's go Wolf's Gaming Blog. Okay. And come back over here. Put Wolf's Gaming Blog in there, and let's just hit add. Okay. Now let's go in and build. Yep. Well, I'm not pulling any feeds here. Let's see. Pull some 5 in here. Let's come in here and pull how to gamers. That's a dead post. Wolf's gaming blog. I think we already, oh, looking at the wrong thing here. Game studio. Let's look at Dual Shocker. Okay, put that in there as well. Okay, put that back to 1. Come over here to build. And there we go. Okay. See how now we're seeing some stuff up here. This is that where we're randomizing the positions of everything. Okay. So that looks good. And
It's almost the benefit really of not having an image on the authority ones and just put an image on yours because they're more desirable to click.
yeah. Yeah, it does stand out, doesn't it? So, and what Wayne was just talking about is if you put, let's say that we reverse this. I have all these as feeds, as web feeds over here, and I put in my 5 static links or my 3 static links here, okay? But when I do images, I say, only give me images for the external images only, okay? Then any of the website feeds coming over, we're going to try to pull images. But all my static images, all my feed posts that I put in there wouldn't have images. So it would be, this would be like a static in this scenario, and then these would all be the website feeds. So play around with it. It's where do you want your images to show up? Okay. The other thing is I took the formatting. So if we did this local temp, and we set this up so that you could put it in as a template inside of a WordPress in the formatting. So it could be either a sidebar or a footer. So if you're going to add it to the bottom of your page, and how we would do that is I do that, and I come over here, and on hooks is we would put, am I doing this right?
No, that template means that it's got a footer when the page has got a footer.
Okay, so it's automatically going to put it
It's
in.
3 different looks at the local page because you can fire the local page and just look at it normally.
So I primarily use that HTML because
If you pick up that e-gaming link and stick it in a, like this now, you can, now that you're looking at it. If you change the style, you can make it look like, at the moment that is for like embedding.
Yeah.
And then if you change the style, I don't think you clicked update.
Okay. Okay.
And then if you build that, it'll have a footer. And then if you change it and build it again, it'll have a sidebar and it'll look like more like a page.
Okay.
So you've got like the header.
Yeah.
And I think it's got a footer as well as you scroll down with, with the tags in and stuff.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We set this up to be like a normal page, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you want to drop it at the bottom of something else, like you've just put it into a G site, you can just do away with the top and bottom and just have the grid.
Yeah.
Which is what you had the first time.
Yeah. That's why this, I have seldom used these, but this is an actual HTML page right now. And but this is the one that I primarily use because I put them into G sites. Okay, so this is local. I know there's other options and other strategies to go with this. In fact, let's get rid of a lot of these. So clean up my tabs on top here. Okay. Now, what I want to do, keep on cleaning up this. I want to show you some examples of how I'm using these. G sites, keep Zapier. Okay, I got to pull in another. Okay, these are some of the G sites. I'm on Chrome. These are some of the G sites that I have built that are, I used G Site Factory, and then I came in and custom designed this home page. But if you'll notice, here we go. This is the one that says the local page footer. So it actually looks like a page inside of another page. And I didn't put images on here, but I like how clean it is. Block Venus, in fact, all these are my own sites. So I'm building a backlink in Digital Nomad in this Google site. I have now backlinks to all of my sites. So if you type in Blog Venus, it's going to take them over here, one of my sites. This is Inspired Health. That's one of my sites. And in fact, if you ever want to know what these are, they're Zox news themes. Okay, and let's go pleasure tripping. There's another Zox news theme. So see how clean it is? It's really, and this is inside of just a normal G site. So I'm getting the authority of I get the page, the domain, the page authority of a Google site, not necessarily the domain authority. And then these are just normal blog posts. But I want to point out, this is a ZimWriter where we did the image inside of AI Masher. We did the voiceover. If you recognize ZimWriter, there's your main topic answer up there, remote freelance. And I used on this is I actually went into the page itself and put in some stock images. So online business, affiliate marketing, and I used some of the cool stuff with G sites. It doesn't have a lot of flexibility, but it does have, as far as images and context, you can move things around really easy. Okay. So this is and I put in frequently asked questions. This was actually from ZimWriter. So you can see, I mean, this is in using the G Site Factory. Whenever we're using this, you can put that iframe at the bottom of every one of these pages, which would be another way of putting in more backlinks. And with the iframe in local, every time somebody loads this up, well, I'll say every time, usually it's on a daily basis or whatever your agency license is how often do we update that local? That local page would have been updated, and let's just say it's daily. So if somebody came back to this page tomorrow, it would have this is going to have different links, or they're going to be, these probably are all static links in here, but they're going to be rotated on a daily basis. And this description is going to be spun. So it gives SEO, it gives Google's algorithm something different to look at every day. Okay. Keep that in mind. A little gray hat strategy is you change the description on a rotation and you change the placements of these links on a daily basis. And that RSS Masher does it automatically for you.
You can override that as well if you wanted to change it every 7 days, 14 days. There's an option in the local tab.
Yeah.
If you wanted to like leave it longer.
Yeah. In fact, I'll go back over there. Go into local, externals, override mash. Okay, how I want it done every 7 days, hit update. So it's not going to change anything on the iframe for 7 days, and then it's going to rotate it, okay? You see how powerful this is? It's, yeah, Scott asked a question. So if you build a new G site, you only have to place that public URL into your local page RSS. I think that's reversed. If you build a new G site, you have to place your local page embed code into the G site. So
Yeah.
we're placing code into a G site, which is, here's the code. You just grab it. In fact, this one is that, because this is that local footer. It's why it already has width and height in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott says, I'm thinking about building these like PBN. Yeah, this is what creates your PBN. Guys, Don Roberts and Daryl Osborne kind of gave us the idea for this. We spent we spent almost 2 months building this thing, thinking through everything that we needed to do with it. It cost us a lot of time and money to build this, but it is very powerful to use it as a backlinking source on high page authority sites, such as Google, Blogger, anywhere where you can put an embed code, you can put this frame in there. Really, really powerful. Okay. Final questions. We got about 45 minutes on this one here. Is entity elevation. Click that. You can put schema in here. This is what really doubles up the power right here. If you don't know what schema is, you want to learn everything there is about how to do this, is click on this link and it will take you to entity elevation. Okay. And Daryl and his partner, in fact, Don, who's his partner that teaches the web design? I'm waiting on Don to reply here. But the two of them teach a class that, if you want to be an SEO expert, these two guys will teach you how to be. Okay. Clinton, yeah. Clinton. Okay. Schema password. They will give you a password to put in here to use their latest, greatest schema, but they've given us permission to use one. It's more of a basic schema. If you want to use that, just hit verify with leaving it blank. Okay. Now, you need to put in a schema profile in here. And I've got a couple. Well, no, I don't have any couples in here. So we have one that we renamed as RSS Masher. So here's what you put in for schema. You put your name, about, like for example, name one, URL. This is where kind of you're putting your link tree in here. Creator data, page entity URL, a lot of information in here, address, and then you hit update. And then this will create your different schemas in here, okay? Now, Daryl's more advanced schema has a lot more input to put in there, but this is really powerful information because it gets packed into that iframe as a meta. Now, you don't see it in the iframe itself, but it is, it's buried in the URL, this trusted list where the link is, okay? So I'm going to come over here and just show you the one thing we didn't show you. Okay. Remember we told you it's in a custom domain that we have 4 of them you can use. And with come across, come over here. Okay. here's the actual, so you can, this is actually a link that you can use other places. So if I had a link here, I wonder if I could boost it with booster pages, or if I could send it across to AI indexer, Omega indexer. So you actually have would be a tier 1 link that links back into your own sites. So we just gave you a tier 1 that you can use. What do you think of that? Okay, pretty powerful stuff right there. How many knew about this local page? Or better yet, how many actually use the local page? Give me a yes. And if you don't use the local page, give me an N, just so Wayne and I kind of have an idea of viewership here. Okay. So it appears most people haven't ever even used it. It's pretty easy to use. If you just gotta actually go in there and use it. Now, Wayne, help me. We have local pages here, and agency got, I can't remember how many. Agency gets a number of.
Agency gets the same amount as you would normal mashes.
Okay. So if I go in, just to give you an idea here. So we have some people that are on the standard package, but they bought RSS Masher only to do local pages. And this may be you. So if I go RSS Masher, I don't remember all the
if you're standard, you can have 20 mashes. But you can also have 20 local mashes as well.
Yeah. I think we even, yeah, active local. So if you bought the standard, you're running on standard, but you want more local mashes, is you can double that with just by clicking on the bottom of down here. That's not weird. If you want to double your local pages. Okay. So it's a one-time purchase. You double up all your local pages. So you can, if you got a standard, you can go from 20 to 40. You'll always have 40 available, 50 to 100, and 250 to 500. We have a lot of people. In fact, a lot of Daryl's folks have gone 250 to 500.
Yeah, yeah. And if you upgrade, we grandfather that in. So if you've bought it when you was on standard, you'll get 40 local pages. But if you upgrade to agency, it will automatically boost up to 500.
Yeah. So, anyway, and I think when you do this, don't, yeah, we get 2 additional custom domains. So we start, you may only see 2 custom domains that you can use, but you can use 4. You can have, there's 4 different ones in there if you have the local page doubler there.
Yeah.
And anytime you want to double it, just click this button down below. Real easy to get to. Okay. This is not a sales page for it. I just want to give you that option. Okay. Whew. That's a lot on local pages. Any questions before we move on?
Yeah, custom domains. The domain, you don't want to embed a page that says rssmasher.tech. Even though we are hosting it, you don't really want it to say that. So we've created 4 domains just for this purpose, which are the ones that you saw in the local drop down, which Damon's about to go to. So you can either have it on daily current news, you can either have it on any of those like topic gate, trusted lists, etc.
Yeah. That's why we put these in there.
Yeah, they're specifically, we've registered those and put them in just for this purpose.
Yep.
They don't get used for anything else other than this.
Yeah. And the cool thing is whenever, let's see if I have a trusted list here. I think I close it. Let's do a build and we'll look at it.
if you've got your own domain called Best Plumbers and you want all your local plumbing pages to have one of these at the bottom, there's instructions on how to add that domain into RSS Masher to get it to work. And then that will be just yours. It won't
Yeah.
be shared to anyone else.
Yeah, this is, if I just type in trusted lists, and we protect your domain by doing this right here. Okay. So people can't go into trusted lists and see who everybody else's, where everybody else's links are. Okay.
And
Now
we've got to send it somewhere. If it went to a 404, it would be bad.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've just seen one of our tricks that we'll promote Geek Out Friday with you.
Yeah. And you know, ideally is if Don is posting something, we don't want, you know, Bob or whoever to be able to get to this HTML, and not that whoever would use it nefariously, but we only want Don Roberts to be able to use his own link, and that's why we do this. So there is no sitemap with it. There's no RS. We put this on here, but I don't think it. Yeah. So that's the feed itself. It's not much. Okay. So anyway, we try to protect you every way we can when you're building PBN type activities. Okay. Garen asked about the geolocate and how do we integrate our own domains. Integrations.
Custom domain. Yeah, domain.
That's where you're going to add your custom domain. Here's all the instructions to put your own custom in there. Okay. And then when you're on your manage mashes.
And if you try that and it doesn't work or get stuck, just hit me a ticket up and I'll fix it. So,
Yeah.
But it should just go through and automatically add it to our server.
Yeah, and then you would see it in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be Garen's secretsite.com or, you know, whatever your custom domain is for it. But I don't use it. I don't think Wayne even has a custom domain in there. The reason, that's why we set these up to be very, very private. You know, somebody might guess what your HTMLs are, but we wanted to make it very difficult for somebody to pull your HTML or your RSS feed. Okay. Good question, guys. I'm going to move on past local. We're almost a full hour on this one topic, but I'll go back here and let's just do this. I'll leave that up. Yeah, I'm going to leave Feedly up for everybody. Okay. That's why we have three training on videos on how to do this. Okay. Best practices include expert authority link feeds along with your own static links. This is probably the better way of doing it, but I like to have an RSS feed of my site going into the local. So I always have fresh content in that local page. Okay. And then I'll make my authority links static. So I do dynamic replacement with the website feed for my own websites with static authorities. What Wayne suggested is put your own static links in there as like your pillar post, your main homepage, or, you know, something that if somebody landed on it, they go, oh, okay, there's great articles here. Okay. With the Zox news themes, which I love and promote, and Don Roberts and I did a great training on if you ever want that. But if you have a Zox news theme, it has like 10 different posts that you can click on just from that main page. So it's not a boring homepage where you like a sales page. So you could use those as static links, okay, and then feed your your expert authority links in there. Okay. Now, add a feed of your own for indexing on Google Sites. So this is why you want to put it on Google Sites. You want to put it on any of these high page authority sites that you can embed an iframe. That's the most important part. Use the schema. I say use the schema, and you notice I don't have any schema set up. Whether it's lazy or whether I just kept busy and forgot to do it, I still recommend that you use schema in there to help with your SEO efforts, okay? And to build some internal backlinking that's inside of Google Sites, okay? Try turning your resource links, your money hooks for the bottom of your post with static links to your own pillar page, okay? This is where you can put that page we were talking about. Is it looks like a regular page, but I like using just my preference is using, so it doesn't have site footers or anything. I like just using that one, okay? And I'll put that on the bottom of a WordPress page if I wanted to, okay? Now we have Masher sites. Guess what? Our Masher sites become automatic tier ones if we put the iframe at the bottom of a page on Masher sites. So anywhere you can embed your iframe, just think you're building a PBN network, all with this little button right here. Okay. I think I can move on. Any questions, Wayne, before we move on to the next topic?
We do actually have a token called local mash.
That's what I thought we had in there.
Yeah.
So let's hop over to bushcraft tips. Edit. Remember the hooks we set up the other day? We're going to curate, and we're going to come down here, and we're going to insert token.
Do you see the little text on the left-hand side?
Oh, right here. Oh.
There is a token called local mash, but to get it to work,
come in here and know the code, don't I?
If you get the idea of so it's 10167.
Okay. If this had been any more obvious, it would have bit me, right?
Yeah.
So I put that in there.
10167.
10167.
Now that's automatically going to embed that iframe at the bottom of that, well, of all the articles. So effectively, what we've done there is we've automated posting that through to your site with it attached at the bottom.
Things to consider before buying a generator. Well, where'd this come from? And I'm using my scroller bar, and this is exactly what everybody else would do. They're using a scroller bar to move down the bottom of your page here, and then they hit this, and it just starts scrolling, okay?
So now hopefully everyone's light bulb's gone off. Like you've got a friend who lives up the road who's got is a painter and decorator, and he wants you to build him a site to attract people to phone him up. So you build him maybe a G site or even a WordPress site for painting and decorating, and then you get all the links that we've just showed you and his static links to help rank it, and that's really why it's called a local page, to try and help rank local businesses. But you can obviously use it for SEO and everywhere else.
Yeah, I mean yeah. Imagine this is like what he's saying is, your local client, you could add this to the bottom of his page. Let's say that you're doing content for him. In fact, you're writing ZimWriter or whatever, you're using our AI Master to write content. You can put this on the bottom of every one of his pages before you publish if you go through RSS Masher. Okay. Trick is you got to go through RSS Masher. we don't do local pages as add-ons in AI Masher through its publishing source, because this is an RSS Masher exclusive. Don Roberts is on the call. Don, do you have anything to add, or do you want to hop on the call to talk about this a little bit more about how you might use it? And I didn't prep Don for this, but he's the guy that's put this bug in my ear. In fact,
you've covered it pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, he said you covered it pretty well. In fact, you could almost pat him on the back for Bot Masher, because some of the things that he wanted done on Bot Masher, we haven't done yet, the video watch, but we have done the SEO search. He asked me about a year ago, he said, can you do this? I said, well, I don't know if we have time, but we made time, and it's Bot Masher is going to be an incredible tool.
No, yeah. Some of the things you don't even know, really. Some of the things, well, you do, because you've seen the mind map, but even some of the ideas we've had is not even on there.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on.
Yep.
Okay. So we covered everything with this. This is all in your notes too. I'm pulling off your notes. Okay. Building Sitemap Mashes. It is, this is our latest. I can honestly admit I haven't even used it. Well, I think I tried it once and I got distracted and started doing something else. So we're going to build it together, and Wayne's going to look over our shoulder, and when I get it wrong, he'll let me know. Okay. So I'm going to put in here, let's come in. You know, I told you my demo side here, beekeeping beginners. Okay. Zox news theme. No, this is actually different from Zox. This is a different one. Guys, I want to show you this this is a koala magnet. It's a lead magnet. Enter your you can put these little magnet inserts, and we can talk about this later, but it's a pretty cool deal. Best bee gloves. I know I'm totally getting off track here, but it uses AI to answer this question. The reason I'm mentioning this is I went into one of my sites and I had 4,000 users registered as users on a WordPress site. And I'm like, I'm getting spam. Where did they all come from? They came from this little bitty lead magnet right here. Submit. Here's all the stuff about beekeeping gloves. And they get down to the bottom, and this one I turned off the email on it because I was getting way too many. But it would say submit, and then it would say, give me your email for the so I can email you the results. Okay. So I captured that email, but it's using AI as a lead magnet. And I have done nothing with it. I've got 4,000 users interested in not necessarily beekeeping, but another, it was an e-bike deal that I'm doing. So that was a complete side note. I apologize. Okay. So this is beekeeping beginners. These are all ZimWriter articles. Most of them are ZimWriter. What works best in a bee smoker? So we pull, people also ask questions, okay? And then we put them through ZimWriter. And then we run them back into AI Masher, okay? So main points, listen to the article. You might recognize some of this stuff. We put a YouTube, in fact, I pulled a YouTube inside of ZimWriter. And I come in and I'll replace some of the images. Okay, here's a couple of images. Roger Thomas, he's my beekeeping expert. Okay, so let's pretend like instead of written in August 2024, these were written in 2022 or you know, even older than that. But I wanted to pull a sitemap from it. So I'll just keep beekeeping And I'm going to put it in here so I know what I'm doing here. Sitemaps. Okay. Come down here. I'm going to add it to my beekeeping site. In fact, is Scott Patton on the call here?
Yeah.
He has a VA that was doing this. I'm like, man, that's brilliant. How'd you figure it out? And he said, well, I watched Wayne's video. Okay, so I've got the mash made. It's updated successfully. Come over here to sitemap, enter the sitemap, and come over here. And I don't really know what my sitemap is.
.xml maybe.
So I use a program from RankMath.
You want the one that's the post.
Yeah. So this is the one that I would want to use. So don't just trust that it's going to be sitemap.xml. Yoast has a different format. WPMU has a different format for sitemaps. You've got to go in and figure out what your format is, which is this one right here is for RankMath. Okay. So I've got all my links in here. And come up here, grab that. And what RankMath does is it puts it in a real pretty format for me right here. Okay. So it tells me images, last modification. And let's go on down. I think that's all I've got. Okay. So I could take this entire thing right here and come over here to RSS Masher, paste that in. It's going to verify it first. Okay. Now, how many articles? Help me out, Wayne. I haven't used this in a while. Number of articles.
Every time the service runs, how many do you want to, how many down the list do you want to go to find?
Okay. How old do I want to start pulling these? So the article has to be older than 4 months, 6 months. So anything older than 6 months is going to pull from. Site credentials.
Now, for you to be able, for this to work, it has to match your integration login details to the sitemap. So you've got to look for your beekeeping beginners.
I don't even have that one in there. So this is a good example. It's not
You,
going to
you
work.
must have it in there because but it can't be XML RPC connection. It has to be REST or app password.
That may be the problem. And then what I'll need to do, let's find something else.
Because what we're doing behind the scenes is we're using the REST API to talk to the site.
And I use XML RPC on that one.
Yeah, it's a feature that we can't do it with that.
Yeah. Let me see another one. Let's pull push pedal crank. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here to push pedal crank. Guys, you're all getting to see a lot of sites you probably had never seen before. Okay, now I'm going to pull sitemap. And again, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to just guess at it.
Try the post underscore. Is it underscore? Depends. You might have Yoast on that one. It might be different.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
There we go. It was dash instead of
Oh,
underscore.
dash. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, this was ranked math anyway. Yeah. Okay. So there's my post. Let's pull that one instead. Okay.
No, you'll have noticed it didn't remember the site credentials because it has to match it, and it knew it wasn't the right one, so it blanked it out because everything could go wrong.
I'm going to delete that beekeeping because I'm using a different formula. Push pedal crank. Okay. Older than 4 months. Push pedal crank.
No, it's going to do a check. No, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we talked about rewriting. This is the rewriter. This is where it's really going to come in handy. You got push pedal crank. I want to rewrite it, and I want to let's come down here and use something like Anthropic. I don't have any, and I'm looking in here. Let's back it up. I want to make sure I don't think I have any ads in this one. But this is a review. Okay. Your latest prices. I do have ads in here. So these are my Amazon view latest price. That's an Amazon WordPress link that's really it's sneaky, as you can click on that and it will take you to the products. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going in here. Let's run go ahead and run. I guess I'm going to do Fox News, and then I'm going to voice it myself. And I'm going to run content because I'm doing a cleanup on it. Okay. Now I'm going to hit build.
Well, it's already on your site, so you have the content.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now you can preview web, and it's 11 tips for top-rated self-guided cycling tours. Okay.
So what you've just proven there is it's looked at the sitemap, it's gone to it, it's decided which one was older than 4 months, and it's pulled that article, and this is where you can see it. So the idea now, we can send it to AI Masher and we can rewrite it.
Yep. If you'll notice, it's pulling one at a time because I told it to only pull one at a time. Okay. I'm basically done. When I hit build, I can hit finish and activate. And now it is pulling. In fact, I want to rename that real quick so I know what it is. It's push pedal crank. Here, the update, finish, and I'll just make it active again. Okay. So the real thing is you got to be able to test it real quick. Yep.
So that what's effectively now is it's pulling the old articles from back in the day on your site, send them over to AI Masher. AI Masher will rewrite them, and it will send them back as new articles. But when you attach it to the schedule and get it to post it back to the same site, it will know it's one that's been rewritten, so it will overwrite the original and replace it with the new one. Really complicated behind the scenes, but really simple to say.
Did y'all understand what he just said? Give me a no if you need to hear it in a different.
Yes, with a new date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've seen how it extracted articles that was already on the site. AI Masher will rewrite them. When it gets to the stage, because you still have to create a schedule for this mash and point it to the right WordPress site, it will know that that article that's sitting there waiting was a rewritten one, and it will overwrite the original where you got it from with the new one and change the date so that it's local. It's like today or whenever it posted it.
Yeah, it's pulling that URL and the slug to go with it, and it's going to put it right back in place, but it's going to update the date for you. Okay, really powerful. We had to think through this. Wayne had to think through this one a lot, but that's what it does. We do have come back here. We do have, this is 18 minutes of Wayne showing you step by step what we just went through again. Okay. I would encourage you to try it on an older site. Once you get the hang of it, and get the rewriting templates. And this could be, if you're doing a specific reinventor template, you might have, redo the images in there, do a voiceover and whatever voice you want to use, but you can make it kind of targeted to a specific site. Okay.
And so, if you had any links or ads on the original article, make sure you put something in the mash so it can put that back for you, because it will overwrite what was there before. So if you want any ads and links, you can put them in the money hooks and it will still add them in for you with the new rewritten articles.
Yeah. So you just put them back in here.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. One other thing is, when you're thinking about the reinventor template on this, or I'm sorry, on the sitemap, the reinventor, if I'm going to reinvent everything for an e-bike here, this is my e-bike site, then I really want to focus on, I may create a specific reinventor for this particular website. And I just would go to AI Masher and set it up where, maybe I'm going to use the teacher model, or I may use TMZ. I would make one specific to it, and I could even do, save the images if I wanted on the featured image. But this would be a time that you might want to actually focus on a specific reinventor template for a specific site. Okay.
Jill asked a good question. Does it leave the slug alone? Yes, it does.
Yes. Yeah. That was one thing that we wanted to make sure on that. Is
if it's got links around the world, you still want it to find it.
Yeah, you still want that to find it. Now, here's the beauty about it is, if you've got everything with Google Search Console and you got your index and it's set up, when Google revisits the site, if you've let Google know through Rank Math and Yoast, I think there's several others, is that you've got new data in old post. Well, it will read the old post and look for new dates on ones that it's already indexed before. And Google loves to see Google loves to see posts that have been updated. Okay, so that's a little trick to it, is Google Search Console can be your best friend. Is if you're updating all these posts, just have it re-index it. I mean, it's a beautiful way of doing it.
Okay. What should happen as well is, when the sitemap gets regenerated, it will drop it at the top because it's new.
Yep. Okay. We went quickly over that. Now we're going to get into the Feedly GSheet method. Just as here's the full Geek Out Friday. If you'll notice the date, it was January 21st. So this is 4 years old. And I was actually using it before it was 4 years old. So that's how I was able to teach it. The Feedly to Zapier can be Feedly to Make, Feedly to Pabbly now. 4 years ago, Feedly, the content that Feedly was pulling from articles was not visible on Integromat. It would show the link, it would show the title, and that little content tab you couldn't see it in Integromat. So it was, you know, it basically made a thin post for us because it had description, one sentence description, and all the content was stripped out. So we did not go with Integromat on the training. We always said it's a Feedly to GSheet method for Zapier, but you can apply this to anything now, because I know that, well, I can't confirm that Pabbly does it, but I know that Integromat will pull, or Make will pull the content section off an RSS feed and put it into a GSheet for you. Okay. But I'm going to show you in Zapier how to do it. And this is going to take a second to do. Okay. Feedly. I'm inside Feedly here. The other day, I think we built a feed.
Nomad, wasn't it?
What was that?
Was it the Nomad one?
Nomad.
Second from the bottom, yeah.
Yeah. Digital Nomad. Okay. So we've got, because I'm using this is Leo right here when it sets priority. But it has set a priority for, it's learned, in fact, beekeeping was put in there also, digital nomad lifestyle. Okay. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like I got 6 feeds in here. Okay. So it's found 3 feeds that it thinks I might like. Okay. That may have a little bit of trends in them. Also MetaPress, One Step. So these are recommended to go over, or I could go straight into Digital Nomad. So what I want to do is I want to go from Feedly to GSheet into RSS Masher. And how I do that, the Feedly to GSheet method, I have to use Zapier. But let's start off here. I've got to have a GSheet to start all this with. So I'm going to go in with integrations. Go down here to Google Sheets. And I'm going to use my normal Google account, which is Launch Ninjas. I'm going to click Edit. Okay. Come down here. And I don't think I have Digital Nomad already. No, Digital Nomad Lifestyle. That was the last one I added. So I want to take a look at it, see if I have anything in there. I got 1, 2, 3. I've got some content in here, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to start over. So I have a fresh one for us. And I'm going to create a sheet, and I'm going to call it New Digital Nomad. I hit Create Sheet. It's going to add it to the bottom. I'm going to take a look at it. Nothing there. Date, title, description, link, content, author, featured image. Okay. Now I'm ready to put it into RSS Masher once I have content in here. Okay. New digital. So I will go into Manage Mashes, and I'm going to create Add New Digital Nomad. And I'm just going to put in here so I know GSheet method. Okay. Putting it under travel. Digital Nomad Lifestyle. Hit update. Okay, so I've created the mash, and I would pull the GSheet. Google account, it's Launch Ninjas. Google Sheet, it is only going to be right at the bottom. New Digital Nomad. Add GSheet. I want to pull one article, and we can send it over to AI Masher. I hope y'all appreciate this. Everything you can rewrite now is just about through AI Masher. Okay. Image copied content. Yeah, let's do that. And I'm going to hit, come over here to build. Build and preview it. No data found. Why is no data found? It's empty. Okay. So now I've got to fill it up. So I'm going to come over here. I've got the GSheet made. I'm going to come over here to Zapier, and I want to create a Zap. Okay. I'm going to call it Feedly to GSheet. Now they put Microsoft Copilot in there, I think, because they have some relationship with Microsoft. And it's going to look for the Feedly trigger and a GSheet action. Feedly, okay. Add step and add step. Pretty easy. Okay, so I want to come in here to Feedly. And I'll go to setup. Trigger event, new article saved for later. I don't want that. I want new article in board. Okay. And where are we going to pull it? We're going to pull it from my Feedly Launch Ninjas account. Which I think I only have. Yeah, that's the one I want. Continue. Okay. Now, which board do I want? Let's come back here to Feedly and go. I think I have a digital nomad. Let's come down here to boards. Digital nomad lifestyle. Okay. So anytime I get something new in my digital nomad lifestyle, I want it to do something. So I hit continue. Okay. Now I need to test the trigger, and I need to fire one across right now. So I'm going to go into Feedly. I am going to put this one into a board. Digital nomad lifestyle. And see how the Leo's, it knows that I need to put it in that one. Okay.
I think they're already in it, aren't they?
Let's see. Yeah, it's there.
Oh, I see. Leo was suggesting for you.
Yes, yes. So this was the priority. This is the AI right here. And then this is the board. Okay.
Cool.
So now I should be able to go back to Zapier and go, let's test that trigger. Okay. Now I've got to tell it a spreadsheet to go to. Create a spreadsheet row. Yes, I want to do that. And I continue. And it is my Google Drive. Spreadsheet is going to be, see how smart Zapier is already suggesting, but that's not the one I wanted. I wanted the new one. Okay. Spreadsheet, worksheet. There's only one sheet in there. Okay. This time zone. True. Okay. Date. I've got to pull the date off of article, author, publication date, June 8th, 2024. Title, article title, description. And I think it's got a description in here, content, summary, no HTML. We'll put that in there, and link is the URL. Okay. And then come down here to content, and I could say article content, no HTML, article content with HTML. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to use this one. Author. Author.
I think if you're going to post it direct from here, you would have with HTML. If you're going to rewrite it, you'd probably even though it will still work, you might give the rewriter a chance of just sending the text.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Featured image. I'm going to pull article cover image URL. Okay. And then hit continue. So my intent here is it's going to go straight into my WordPress site without a rewrite. Okay. I'm going to test that step. Okay. So I got a checkbox. Checkbox and checkbox. Now it's ready to publish. Okay. So I'm going to come back over here to new and look what it just did. Date, title, link, content, author, featured image. Perfect. That's exactly what I need. So I'm in here, and if I hit build, hopefully it's fast enough to pick that one up. Yeah. Love it when a plan comes together like this that fast. Okay. So there's boondocking, how to start your dispersed camping journey. And what Wayne said is, I'm going to use the HTML here because it looks really nice. Okay. Now it does have links and stuff on it down here. That's fine. If I'm going to use somebody else's content, I'm going to give them all the links they want. Okay. So come over here to build. What I want to do, sources, content, come down here, put in, just go ahead and put citation. Citation, insert token. Okay. Now, I might even have some helpful content on digital nomads. Helpful content. So I'm going to put that in there, but what do I have to do? I have to come over here. Let's hit update so we're not losing things. Helpful content. And let's see if I got digital nomads in here. I don't have digital nomads, but I'm going to put in here entrepreneur motivation. It might be a good one. Okay. So I've got my own content I'm adding to Feedly. Remember how we talked about how you can almost make it your own just by adding more content to it. And
You want to use it as a money hook.
What's that?
Helpful content tab.
Yeah.
Click the user's money hook.
Oh, you're right. Okay. So we have a helpful content money hook. Now I could put a listicle in there. Let's listicle, insert token. Okay, and I'll hit update. I'm really stacking this one up. So I got to come over here to listicle, and I can put in here, what would a digital nomad need? Podcast mics. Let's see, tankless water, skylights. I think this one is working. It says test, so we'll see if it is or not. Uses a money hook. Okay. Random from, let's say, from 3 to 6. Okay. And remember how we could do list item? We could do numbers, sometimes numbers. We'll just put sometimes numbers in there. Okay. So we've added helpful content. We've added listicles. And what else could we do, Wayne? Well, we certainly could come down here and give it a local page appeal, a local mash. Okay, local mash. We needed a local mash number, so I'm just come over here. Manage mashes, open a new window. And I'm going to put in there, see if I've got a local. I'm just going to look for the word local. So this is why we put this stuff in here. It contains local trains, digital nomad lifestyle, local page, G site, 9071. So put in here 9071. Okay, hit update.
Incidentally, just for those curious people, if you try to put local mash 9071 in your own mash, it knows it doesn't belong to you and it won't work.
So this won't work.
Now, because we're on a demo, if someone wants to use your local mash in their mash,
Oh, that's right.
yeah, it won't work because the local mashes have to be in your account for it to work.
Yeah. So y'all can't use 9071.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that protects everybody else.
Okay, so let's come over here to build. This is getting exciting because we're kind of pulling all the training that we have for 3 days and putting it on one mash. Okay, boondocking, perfect. Nice little article. Frequently asked questions. Here's our, remember that's the dash right there. Here's our citation and frequently asked questions. 5 essential factors of motivating for entrepreneurs, motivators. Oh, this is great. Where's statistics, external links, a how-to. Then we put in here 3 best podcast microphones in 2023. Of course, this is an old listicle. This is an Amazon listicle that we made. Okay. Then we come down here and look at this. We have digital nomad lifestyle. We have trusted list. See how we have the name kind of makes sense. Here is discover these curated resource hyperlinks. Inspired health. In fact, what would you imagine? All these lead to. That's, I don't know why that Zox for some reason is messed up on that one. I got to fix that one. So if somebody clicked on that, they go, oh, this is a nice site. Well, it's my site also. So we're using the power of a really good article from Feedly that its AI tool had found. And we've got an automation set up that it pulled it over automatically for us. So Zapier, let's make sure that it is live. Okay. And I'm going to name it, rename. It is Feedly GSheet, new digital nomad. Okay. Come over here to my folder and I can just see it in here, hopefully. There it is. Okay. So it's live, it's on, it's ready to go. And this reads it about every 5 minutes. So if I went into this Feedly GSheet, and a lot of these they're older ones that we have, but they still run. They run all the time. So I'm going to come over here to Feedly. Okay. And I did that one. Oh, let's come up here to the suggestions, digital nomad lifestyle. And let's go the Eye of Sahara Ultra Marathon. I don't know, must have apps for every traveler. Let's try this one. It doesn't show an image there. Let's save it to digital nomad.
At the top, I think, because you've just recently used.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. And I'm going to put this one. That one's already assigned. And this one, unique hotels to stay at in Tokyo. Let's put that there. Okay. And I'm just going to mark them all as red. Okay. So it goes to the next one, survivalist. Which ones do I want to put in my survivalist boards? So any of these that are set up in priority already have zaps in there. So I could, on a Friday afternoon every other week, is I could just come in here and go, okay, which one sounds interesting, has a good image? Here's several, why bother learning primitive fire skills? It's going to recommend survivalist board. Okay. And let's go. I don't know if it's actually saved it. Okay. Water rights, mark all as red. So I'm just kind of going through each of these. This is how I put them over into the exact boards. Okay. Once they're in the boards, then it's all automated coming across. So in probably, let's see. That's that one. Close out some of these windows here real quick. Okay. If I hit finish and activate, it will sit there and it will wait. And let's see if I can just preview web here.
I think you got it set to 1 anyway, haven't you?
Yeah. So
it's 1 at a time.
Yeah, it's going to do in 30 minutes. It will come back and do the next one in the board, the new ones that arrive in the board.
If you have a look at the spreadsheet, they're probably there.
Yeah, you're right. New. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. Tokyo. Yeah. So I've got 3. There's 4, 3, 2. Yeah, the 2 that I just added are in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're waiting for RSS Masher to come to this spreadsheet and pull row 3 and row 4. Okay. Does this make sense?
It will pull row 1 first though, because you've only just made it active.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Don says, what would you do with it now? Well, it's a mash that's been built ready for a digital nomad website. So we just build a schedule and send it.
Yep.
Which we don't have to do because we've showed you how to do that already.
Yeah. So digital, here's digital nomad lifestyle. I know it's in digital. Digital nomad lifestyle and select the mash. I can do that. Hit update. Okay. So those 3 articles that it's going to pull in the next 30 minutes are going to go to Top World Travels. They're going to get linked to Quick View News. They're going to get indexed and booster pages. Pretty easy how to set all that up. So yes, you're going to go mash the schedule. And always think in terms of it. The only time you don't do a mash to schedule is when you're doing a local with the idea that I'm going to take local and put it onto a G site. So local mashes will build that iframe. You're not going to put it in a schedule. Sitemaps, you're going to go mash to schedule. So everything is a mash to schedule unless it's a local. Okay. Does all this make sense? I know we're covering a lot of different content, but this last example, what I did on it was kind of accumulate everything that we just learned how to do. Money hooks, helpful content, listicles, local. They're all being attached to the back end of a Feedly GSheet method. Okay. Perfect. Okay, let's move on. If you want the full, this is, I think it's an hour and a half, but I know there's several Feedly to GSheet training that's buried in other content, but this is the most complete one. Okay, so let's talk about YouTube. And I'm going to go ahead and clear this out, clear out our zaps, Just close these out here real quick. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to build a video mash, and kind of keeping in lines of digital nomads. I'm going to say digital nomads, and I'm just going to do video. I'm going to put this on here just to let me know it's only video. Okay, hit update. Okay, now I do want to embed YouTube content right here. I want the thumbnail, I want a description, and I want a YouTube video. So what I'm doing by this, is I'm creating a blog post that uses the title of the video as the title of the blog post. It uses the thumbnail image from YouTube as the featured image. It puts the video in there, and it takes the description and puts it at the bottom. So this converts a video into a WordPress blog post. Okay. And I'll just keep on going down. That's all we need right there. I don't even need to worry about this because YouTube always puts them at 1280 by 720. And we're ready to go. All right, let's change this. We'll call it video blog post, because that's what it is. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here to YouTube feed. I've got two buttons I could use, YouTube feed or YouTube search. I'm going to use YouTube feed, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm looking for, you can use a channel, a user, or playlist URL right in here. So I'm going to type in here digital, YouTube. And let's type in here digital nomad lifestyle. Okay. So if I'm looking for a channel, I'm looking for maybe somebody that claims they're a digital nomad. Zeus the nomad in there, he's probably a nomad, and he's got several of them in here. And here's Charlie Chang. Here's one that Papa Lynn's podcast. This is Eula. Okay. So Nordic Adam, he is a digital nomad. I recognize him. So let's put in Zeus in here. I'm going to go to his channel and at Zeus Nomad, copy that, come over here to RSS Masher, paste it right in there. Okay. And we'll come over here to YouTube. Let's find somebody else. Remember, I like to do 3 of them to start with. So let's go down here and get Eula.
Hey friends, welcome back, or welcome if you're new to this.
We'll put Eula in here. And let's get one more. And I don't want to do shorts or ones that are in portrait mode. Traveling with Christian. Traveling with Christian. Let's try her. Okay. Copy that and then paste that in here. Add YouTube to feed. Are we not picking up the @ symbol?
No, you can't use that. You can't use those names anymore.
No.
You've got to have the channel.
Help me out here, Wayne.
They changed it. It's a pain in the bum. You have to find the original. If you view the source and look for, if you right click and view the source.
View the source.
There is a video about it when they changed it.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You have to search for the if you just do a search for channel. And then just keep going along.
Thought we had an easier way of doing this. Let's try a playlist. That still won't work, will it?
No. Give me the was it traveling with Krista?
Yeah. They changed this, what, a year ago? It's kind of weird.
Something like that.
Yeah, we'll get this fixed, guys. We may have to actually revisit the coding on it. Because what they did was they took the channel name and put an @ symbol, but it used to be a series of letters and numbers right here. Let's see, TubeBuddy. Quick links. Tools. Now that's going to travel and Christian.
Oh, if you go to if you view the source, it's actually quite quick to find.
Okay. Let's try that again. Okay. View source.
Yeah, view source. Search for the word channel.
Okay.
Control F, channel, and the third keyword along. Right. Just underneath, I think I'm on a wider screen, but if you scroll to the right a little bit underneath, see where it says meta property OG image width.
Oh, that's it.
If you keep scrolling across a bit, it's off this page at the moment.
Okay, for meta property.
In fact, you could search for youtube.com/channel and you'll find it straight away.
Well,
That'd be better.
Okay,
youtube.com/channel. I don't know why that's doing that, by the way.
Let's try this again. I'll just view page source, Control F, channel. You said click it 3
No, you want youtube.com.
And it didn't work. So that's
Well, I'll just give it to you in chat because that's how I found it.
okay.
We tried doing it with usernames, but the API was giving us grief.
Okay.
There you go. Try that. I've sent you it.
We'll put this in here. See how it does this weird stuff there? Okay. Now we have it in here. Now we come over here and hit build. And there is training on how to do it. In fact, I think there's a different way of how we found it. Okay, there you go. Title with a link back to the YouTube. There's her description. Here's the featured image, and here's the video. Okay. So we have that in there. Now, what can you do with it? Well, we come over here, and this is all about digital nomads. So we could come in and put in a local mash. Say it's, I'll do it. I don't need a citation because it's already cited back to her YouTube. So I would put in maybe helpful content or maybe some, let's see, what was that listicle? I like that listicle. I'm going to put that in there about the podcast tips, which had links to Amazon products. I'm going to put in local mash and put in here 9071. Okay. And I'm going to come back and put a listicle in there. And just endure podcast mics. Okay, we're going to go from 3 to maybe 6. Add it as a money hook. And I'm just going to say none. Okay. Now we should be able to hit build. Preview web. Okay. There's that. Now we talk about mics. Got 3 of those all going to Amazon products. And now we have our trusted list. So we've kind of hijacked her YouTube channel, and it's going to build a blog post for us using her description, her featured image, and again, I'm going to leave all her links in there for her, and then the video. Okay, I'm not going to use the word real easy. It's once you have that channel name, the proper channel name, and we're going to have to probably figure out how to make it easier for you.
Well, we did make it easier. If you go 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs across.
Right here. This is the easy button, right? So I'm going to do search by keyword, digital nomad. Lifestyle. Okay. And let's pull in here maybe. Got to have your Google API key in there. And let's pull 5. Hit update. Okay. Come over here to build. If I hit build, preview web. Okay. There's the one from the channel, the website feed. There's all our money hook stuff. Here, there's our iframe local. Okay. 5 scary truths about digital nomad. There's 5 right there. Okay. Oh, we got podcast right underneath it. Yep. Okay. There's our local. Okay. Now we got another one in here. Dream life with $1,000. There's some more podcast stuff. Okay. And there's our local. Here's another video. The ugly truth about digital nomad lifestyle.
What that's just done is it's quite sneaky really. Because we've got all these proxies, we actually do a YouTube search and scrape to find what's actually ranking for the keyword that you've just put in. Once we've got the videos, we then use the Google API to go and get us the information for those videos, which we're allowed to do. But you're supposed to start with the video that you want the information on. So RSS Masher does a real little sneaky trick of scraping the YouTube search to get them in the first place, and then we use the API, which is really cool. And we also check to see if they're English speaking. It's 98% accurate. Sometimes one sneaks through.
Yeah.
So if it brings something across that's got, I don't know, Chinese writing in, and that we'll ignore it for you. We only bring English speaking.
And this is why I didn't remember how to do the YouTube.
Yeah,
feedback.
because we've been using the new tab.
That's funny is, we've advanced so far that there's tabs that we don't use anymore. I'm like, I know it's a lot easier. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm going, yeah, this is the easy button right here.
We will look at that though, because you might want to put your own YouTube channel in there.
Yeah.
You can put username and channel ID and playlist, but since they've messed with it, it's a bit tricky.
This is definitely the easier. So this pulls 5 videos based on this. Every time that based on our license, it's going to pull every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes, it could pull 5 videos for you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would highly recommend on this one is test it with 5 to start with, but come back in here and change it back to 1. Okay. So you're not getting a WordPress post that if you're agency and you put in here 5 or even 10, remember we can pull up to 48 times a day for you, which could, if this is a popular keyword search time, could create 480 video blog posts in one day. Okay. So keep it at 1. That's the best way of doing it. Okay. But you can fill up WordPress real easily with this one YouTube search right here. Okay. Now I'll give you some downsides on this. In fact, a couple people on the call probably recognize it too. There's going to be somebody that's going to make a complaint to you and said, you're using my YouTube video in your blog post. That's not fair. Well, YouTube gives us that ability, and it's part of the terms of service is that you can embed that video. If you don't want it embedded, don't put it on YouTube, under a public deal. I don't want to get in an argument with somebody, but somebody's going to come in and tell you can't use their videos. Okay. Then what you would do is you could come in and remove their videos. Now there's no way to remove them using this term right here, but you can remove them in the past doing it if you're using YouTube search. But if you have a feed, you can actually look on your mashes and you can find them real easily through.
If they're only moaning about one that's on your site, just delete it from your site.
Yeah.
Or just stand your ground and educate them on the YouTube terms of service. And
most of the idiots that do this, they're not educated enough to, they're educated, but they're paranoid. Maybe they're drinking out of the wrong juice jar.
Yeah.
Just remove them.
99% of the time, people want the traffic.
Yeah. Yeah. So the one that we just built here, that we just previewed, every one of them, these are influencers. They want the link because we just created a link back to their site. Plus, I'm giving them all these links right here, so I'm building a backlink for every one of these things for them. So this is the pro of why we're doing it, but we're also putting in podcast stuff. We got our own little local page in the bottom of it. I mean, you can see everything that we're doing with all this. So anyway, that is the YouTube search. And again, I thank Wayne for explaining it to me as why we don't use that YouTube channel anymore. I love this because, I mean, it's so easy right now to create a
Masher video view site.
Yeah, a Masher with YouTube search on there, just using this one little tab right here. And update. And when you come back out, remember I hit the edit button. I just need to change it back to active. Okay, so it's building video blog posts for me. Okay, let's go on. We're at the top of 2 hours now. Okay, automation workflow. Over the course of the next probably 2-3 weeks, y'all are going to have some questions. Okay. What I want to be able to do is put the questions inside the Facebook group. And I have a specific group for all this, which is the RSS Mastermind, which is this one. Okay. Put all your questions in here if you can. Okay. I'll put this in the notes. That way it puts them all in one area. So somebody's going to ask, how do I check that local image? Well, I'll try to make a small little 2-minute video or 1-minute video. And we may even do like a layer path on there, but I want to only do it with the common questions. But this is a good place for me to answer all the questions, is right in here. Okay, Mastermind, unlock auto blogging and local page building. We put all our Mastermind training in here, but if you put a question in here, it's good for other people are going to have the same questions. Okay, so it's good for me to answer it here, but at the same time, I can come back here and go, okay, this was on day 3. I can put in questions, but these may be some automated workflows that other people want to see. So this is a living, breathing document that you're getting right here. Okay. And I did something even more. We had people asking about, well, can you give me a checklist or facts? Well, guess what? I put in the YouTube video. I put it in Notebook LM. I came down here and additional notes curated from Notebook LM. This podcast right here is absolutely incredible.
Right.
This is 19 minutes, but if you'll play this as you're doing something else, these 2 experts in here are going to talk about the 2.5-hour video that we just shot, and they kind of consolidate it down. And I gave them custom notes on how to focus the podcast. Okay. You have a really good podcast as a abbreviated learning for it right here. Okay. Here's the outline of the fundamental setup, basic mash setup, and schedule setup. It is reading from, in fact, it's got citation links, which the citation didn't even copy. Okay. Workflow for using RSS Masher for content automation. Here's a briefing doc, a detailed timeline of day 1. It's pretty amazing. So even here's the cast of characters. So I've got my name and Blaine's name, Don, Roger, an attendee who confirms that everything is all good so far. I thought that was kind of clever that it put all that in there too. So anyway, take a look at it. Before you really even ask the question, is try it with RSS Masher. If you're running into problems, definitely put the question in there. We want to help you out. As you can see, we've spent 3 days going over this beast of a machine here. And I bet there's at least one thing y'all picked up that you didn't know before. I hope that is. So when I end the video today, I'm going to do the same thing with Notebook LM. I'll put all the notes in there, the podcast and everything else in there for you. I want to encourage everybody, go in and use it. Screw it up, mess it up. You're going to have bugs. You see how Wayne and I did it. I get stuck occasionally because there's so many things in the mash that we've built over time. I forgot that, we don't use YouTube feeds anymore. We just do a YouTube search, and it's completely simplified everything. If you want to view, I didn't even mention this, but if you want to view your mash without changing the active status, come down here and hit the view button. You can't edit anything while you're in here in view, but you can see what you put in there. This is a YouTube search. Did I put any helpful content, listicles, and what was the hooks? So you can see everything that you've done. And I use this a lot because I know sometimes when I go in and hit edit just to see things, it makes it inactive. Like this one is, I went in and edited it and made it inactive. So I have to come in and remember to click this button to turn it back on.
No, we do that to, because if you're editing it and you're actually going to make a change, you don't want the server to pick it up halfway through while you're making a change, because it's going to make a mistake. That's why we auto turn it off.
Couple little things that we'll go over real quick. Bushcraft tips, let's go ahead and edit that. I mentioned yesterday about image swaps. If you want to do an image swap in here, you're not going to rewrite it. Come over here to images. You can use image packs. This is Bushcraft. So I'm going to image pack. Don't think I have Bushcraft, but I may have preppers and survivalists. So I have 100 images in a image pack I created, and I'm just going to image replacement state. Just do the first image. Okay. Add a featured image to text only articles. This is a great way is if you have some really good blog posts or feeds that they just don't have featured images or that it's picking up. Just turn that on, use an image pack, hit update. Now I'm going to bring over my image packs. Come over here, build. And do preview web. Okay. So there is a featured image. There's our how-to, our frequently asked questions, and our local. So I just put one in there. It may not be appropriate, may not be the exact one that I wanted in there, but the person that's seeing your website, he doesn't care. That's an interesting image. I'm going to click on it because it's an interesting image. But that's how easy it is to use our image packs. Now, you can, as you're in here, say, oh, pull from Google, Pixabay, turn off my image packs, and I'm going to go Bushcraft, Bushcraft skills. Okay. Use custom search. Pixabay search account. You got to tell it which accounts to use, and they're all set up in integrations. First image, add a featured image, hit update. Over here, hit build. Let's see what we do. Now this is more appropriate. This is a good Bushcraft skill set. And I'm going to turn off my curation. It looks like it put it inside of that.
Probably need a return at the end of that line. It would have.
Oh,
you would have put it underneath there.
Yeah. Well, it's a good problem that we don't let it show that. Remember at the very beginning of all this training, I said, y'all are going to be, this is your favorite button right here. You saw how many times over the course of 3 days I clicked that button and clicked that button. That is a good image right there. In fact, it fixed everything. Wait, I don't know where that little greater than sign is coming from. Okay, this is great.
Yeah, Don says proceed with caution with the getting images from Google. In your integrations, there's the option that you can only pull copyright free ones if you're nervous, and then you'll be all right then.
It is under custom search. I think that's the right one.
Yeah.
Edit. Change width. Right here.
Yeah, image rights. So you've got not filtered by license, or you can have free to use or share, or free to use even commercially.
Yeah. If you have a concern, this is probably the best one, and also is safe search. And I'll type in Bushcraft skills just to make sure it's working. Image size, medium, search. Okay. So it's working. And if I go, and this is a little bit tighter restriction right there. Yeah, give me the same ones.
Yeah. Put it back to the yeah. You should get different ones completely, I'd have thought.
Yeah. Oops. Let's try this again. I don't know why that's coming up.
That's weird. It worked twice and then didn't. Well, we know it works because that was the setting it was on when you was doing the build.
Yeah.
Google's having a weird funny. See, the pictures are completely different.
Yeah. Every time you bring it up on test. So keep that in mind. That's a great question, Don. Guys, any questions? You got 3 days worth of questions that you could have built up by now. So anyway, this is, I'll get out of this. And we'll go back to day 3. Day 3. Okay. And if time permits, guys, we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes. We're going to have to, I'll put in the link to the actual training on here, but we're going to do probably a 2-hour class down the road, probably in May, about doing advanced again. It's something I don't even use. Wayne does because he's a professional coder, but it will help you clean up. If you've got some feeds that you really like, but you don't want all their ads, you don't want any of their links in there, you don't even want their citation at the bottom, that's what this does, is it will clean up everything for you. But you got to know a little bit about HTML for it to work. And then custom integrations. This is more about using Zapier and Make for outbounds of your schedule. Okay. So not only can you send it to WordPress, but if you can send it to Zapier, there's a lot of CMS sites that you could send through Zapier integrations or through Make integrations. And it may be a Geek Out Friday or something that we do with that. Okay. Questions? No, we're not going to have a 4th day because next week is Geek Out Friday. So I start thinking about Geek Out Fridays on Monday. Start planning for it. That's funny.
That link does actually go to, I think it's an old 4-day when we first did the Mastermind.
Oh, yeah. 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 I'll click on that. Where to start? Oh, yeah. This is training goals. It's pretty good. I love the Notion docs. So in fact, looking at this, go out here and I'll come down to the very bottom here, join the Facebook group, other software, interested, want to watch previous Mastermind training sessions. Here are the 2 other Masterminds that we did. This is the show notes. And the other one is right here. We did almost a year ago. So yeah, they're in here. The other thing is inside of Facebook, inside that Mastermind group, if you'll go down here, you'll see other videos that we've done in the past. Okay, get past all those welcome stuff, but all the videos are in here as well. Okay. But yeah, day 4, I'll post that in everybody's. Everyone. Walt, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. Okay. Wayne, any other further questions we can answer?
I
think we answered just
we
about
answered
everything.
most of them. We had a question about Feedly, like what is Leo? And Leo's the assistant that looks for articles and suggests them based on your preferences.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the Pro though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part of the Pro Plus. And what it does is it looks through your feeds here and go, okay, I'm going to look through, where was a good one? Beekeeping. So in a couple days from now I will start getting, Leo will kind of understand which ones I like about beekeeping. And what I'm looking through the feed itself right now. And I can even go top stories. I'll hit all. And as I start putting it into a board, it's going to go, oh, he must like this article. So it will learn what I like, but it also learns by reading the feeds themselves. So I should have one. Let's see what we got. Just as an example here. But what you have to do to set Leo up is create AI feed. No. Today, I think I may be capped at my priorities is why it's not showing. But here's Busy Bee Films. So this is a drone site, but Leo is managing this for me. Usually there's one that it's Leo priorities right here, and you'll click on it. But I think I hit my limit on the number of priorities in here. This is what Leo suggests, but you can. I do this all the time as I go through each of these feeds, and I'm just looking for ones that just jump out at me, like her story. So I would maybe put this in bartender Mike. And I just can't, I do a fast scroll through here. And I'm looking primarily for images in here or something that's in like National Espresso Martini Day. So if I go into bass fishing, I don't think I have bass fishing up here. So I'm looking for one for my fishing site, and I'm just kind of scrolling through here. How to make your own finesse jig. So I would put it into bass fishing board. So that's going to be picked up now by Zapier, and it's going to go into my fishing site. The lure can save your day when spring bass won't bite. That's a great one to put in there. Bass fishing and save. So Leo it's pretty smart, but I think there is limited number of monitored channels that they can do. But you can go through your feeds fairly quickly. And the idea is get the best ones into the boards. And as they're sitting in the boards, they're ready to go over on if you've got a Zap set up. Okay. Any other questions? That was a good question. I think everybody's
Good.
Yep. Okay, guys, we will talk to you again, and we'll see you on another Geek Out Friday. And you know, as I update this, as I update the Notion doc, I'll make sure that you're aware that there's new updates on it. Okay, so we'll talk soon. Bye-bye for now.
Bye now.